Hello Cancer. This is your 2016-2017 annual astrology forecast. It's an exciting year ahead, Cancerians. And you'll be delighted to know that there's no planets, the slow-moving planets, nothing's in fixed signs. So things can keep moving for you this year, especially if you're ready to go with the flow of a lot of the mutable energies. So let's break this year down for you, Cancerians, and at the end of the video I will have a list of the important dates for you. We've got a lot going on still in the cardinal signs, and you are a cardinal sign, so many of you Cancerians have been going through great upheavals, great changes in your life. We've still got Pluto opposite your sign, Pluto in your house of relationships, still there all this year, and so many of you have been going through a lot of transformational experiences in relationships. Many of you have been having very deep karmic experiences in relationships. Some of you some very obsessive, almost magnetic connections with people. So there's a lot going on, and I'm anticipating that some of that will probably continue to go on. But you'll be looking for more depth and more meaning in your one-to-one relationships. With Aries going on, Uranus in Aries in your 10th house, still there until March of 2019 pretty much. This is still a lot of changes happening for you Cancerians in your work area, in what you want to do, in this world. A lot of changes because you're a cardinal sign, so this brings about a kind of a T-square for you. This is a year to keep moving forward, not to stop, but also because the other planets are also in mutable signs. We've got Neptune here in Pisces, mutable sign, going with the flow. Saturn here in your 6th house for the next couple of years, here again in a mutable sign. So it's going to be important, Cancerians, because sometimes you don't like a lot of change. Let's face it, you like to play it relatively safe for the most part. Some of you are excellent in business, but generally you kind of like to know you've got your home base and things are quite safe. But the eclipses as well. I'm going to be covering the eclipses. There are no eclipses in fixed signs this year. So the slow-moving planets, nothing fixed, and the same with the eclipses. So what this means is we're going to have an opportunity this year to really make magnificent, fast progress. As long as you don't get stuck and you say, okay, I'm going to be like a flower in the wind, I'll just go with that breeze and allow the breeze to push me in that direction. If the wind is coming from the north, I won't try and fight it and say, no, please, I don't want you from the north, please come from the south. So that's the kind of energy you're going to be working with. If you can work with it, wow, you can make tremendous progress in all areas of your life. So on March the 9th, we've got a solar eclipse happening in Pisces up here with Neptune in your 9th house. So a new moon solar eclipse, some of you might be deciding to do some higher education. Some of you might be deciding to travel. It's a wonderful time to plan travel. And keep in mind that with the eclipses, they often start to feel the energies. You'll feel the energies several weeks before, and the energies last for at least 6 months after, if not sometimes years, depending on what else is happening in your chart. So here, new beginnings with your spiritual path. Maybe you're going to go on a retreat, a yoga, do something, learn, take your education, your knowledge about consciousness to a higher level. It's a wonderful time for traveling. And with Neptune there, going on your dream trip, planning that dream vacation, or possibly a dream job that you'd like to go and live overseas with. March the 23rd, we've got a lunar eclipse happening down here in Libra, in your 4th house of home. So the lunar eclipse here could bring something to a head connected with family. It could also, if you've been trying to sell a property, the property could sell at that point, really just go through around this lunar eclipse could trigger it. And it may also trigger you deciding, hey, you know, I'm not quite happy with where I'm living. I want to make some changes in my environment. And the lunar eclipse may show you what kind of changes need to be made so that you're going to feel happier with everything that's going on around you, and especially with your close family. The big news this year is that Mars goes retrograde from April the 18th until June the 30th. It's going retrograde initially here in your 6th house, and then during June it'll go into your 5th house. And so Mars goes retrograde. Mars is your energy. Mars likes to move forward. He really doesn't like to move backwards. So there are certain things that it's advisable not to do. So one thing I wouldn't be doing is I wouldn't be starting any kind of a fight or anything connected with your work area, because Mars in the 6th could indicate you could run into difficulties. It's not brilliant for starting a divorce or any kind of court proceeding. It's not good for buying any kind of mechanical devices. And it's not very good, especially in this 6th house for you, and with Saturn there in the 6th house of health, and many of you really getting your health together, restructuring your life so that your diet is good and you're really taking care of yourself very well. Mars going retrograde there, I would not, if you can help it, have elective surgery. If you have to have surgery, that's another matter. But if you can choose not to have it during Mars retrograde, that would be better. It's not the best time for starting a new venture, so during the retrograde I probably wouldn't start a new work project, but it's a great time for redefining, readjusting, and also just somehow taking your energy away from a situation for a little while, just so that you get a better perspective on it, and then when Mars goes direct, then you're off again. So Mars retrograde in June in your 5th house here. So you might be redirecting your energy connected if you've got your own business or you're doing consulting of some sort. You might also be redirecting your energy into having a little more pleasure. Maybe you need to redefine what gives you pleasure, what you enjoy. You may be redefining some hobbies, something creative that you'd like to do. Between May and October we've got a square going on, a square between Saturn and Neptune. So squares are always a certain dissonance. Yes, because a square are two completely different energies going on. We've got Neptune up here in your 9th, Saturn in your 6th. So this may be some kind of a letting go process. You may be letting go of a job. Maybe it's just really not working out and it's time to move on. Maybe as well there's a letting go of something where you've had something of a dream, and this dream now needs to be made into a reality. It's time to take action about it and not just to keep it in that dream world. And it could be especially connected with something to do with your work, to do with your physical well-being, and to do with your spiritual growth. And also traveling. Maybe you want to have a career where you can travel and be anywhere in the world. Well, Saturn will push you to make it real rather than just a pipe dream. And between June and July we've got a glorious trine happening between Pluto and Jupiter. These are wonderful aspects. They're very powerful planets when they come together. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates have got them conjunct in their charts, and they of course have had great success in their working life. And here for you this could be great success. I've seen people make lots of money. I've seen people get into a wonderful relationship. You may meet somebody through a networking that's a very powerful contact for you. You may marry somebody very powerful or interesting, or get into a relationship with somebody who's really very special. And On September the 1st, we've got a solar eclipse happening in Virgo, here in your 3rd house. So this is new beginnings with your social life, your people around you, maybe neighbours. It's a great time for networking, and with Jupiter as well, planet of good fortune there, until September the 9th. This is a wonderful time for creating new networks. It's a great time for learning, for studying something new. It's a wonderful time for doing anything with languages, with writing, with communications of any kind. And then the other big news is that on September the 10th, Jupiter changes sign, comes into your 4th house of home and family. And we'll stay there, lovely Cancerians, until October the 10th of 2017, so a year and a month. So Jupiter is the planet of good fortune. It's also the planet of expansion. So very many of you are going to be looking for a new home this year. So you'll either expand the home you're in, or you might want to go overseas, explore another country, another state. But there'll be a certain restlessness and opportunities, really, maybe, for a move, and a very positive move, Cancerians. I know many of you are like, oh, I don't like to move, I like my familiar surroundings, I know, but this could be the opening of really something new and wonderful for you. There could also be some good news about a family member, or even an addition to the family as well, with that Jupiter in your 4th house. On September the 16th, we've got a lunar eclipse happening. A lunar eclipse happening in Pisces. Oopsie daisy, what did I do there? September the 1st, that was that one. And yes, a lunar eclipse, so we had the solar eclipse. I must have missed one. I think I missed one actually, that Mars retrograde messed me up, but anyway, I'll come back to it, it's all right. On September 16th, we've got a lunar eclipse in the 9th house, so possibly something you started in March can complete in around September time, or you get another boost. It's certainly going to be a year for travel, for furthering your spiritual journey in some way, and in some way connecting more internationally with more people, making more connections. You'll certainly have an opportunity to do that. I do believe I may have missed out the eclipse that happened, the lunar eclipse on March the 23rd in Libra, and this would have been the eclipse again that triggers this whole thing around where is home for me? What feels like home? And you'll have a year, possibly, especially towards the end of the year, Cancerians, of trying to find that home. What feels home? Who are the people who feel like home? Which is the country that feels like home? And what surroundings do I need to really rest? And finally, in December, we've got a lovely, lucky aspect. We've got a trine happening between Saturn and Uranus here. Saturn in your 6th, Uranus in your 10th. This could be some great news about a work project. Just you've worked hard, and yes, some good fortune comes in. There's a surprise. There's a surprise promotion, bonus, something good happening to do with work, or possibly your health, or possibly recognition, being recognized for something in a public way. So there you have it, my lovely Cancerians. I wish you a wonderful year ahead. You may want me to look at your chart personally to show what the stars and the aspects hold for you, and how you can make really good use of these cycles this year. And of course, I'd be delighted to hear from you. And I'm also so thankful to so many of you who do tune in, who email me, who share, who comment. I'm really appreciative of you, and I really want you to know that. And I thank you for listening, and I wish you from my heart, I'm sending you much love. Bye for now.